And welcome back to game number 2 between Team Empire and Mouse Sports. I'm Reddit. Joining me is my co-caster Halbert. Halbert, how are you doing?
I'm even better actually. I really enjoyed that first game. Obviously, Team Empire never really looked like they were going to lose it, but there were some entertaining moments from both sides, and hopefully we'll
Yeah.
see even more of the same kind of entertaining stuff. High-paced Dota is always a pleasure to watch, right?
Oh, Team Empire, Russians, what can I say? I know everyone always makes that joke, but it really is entertaining Dota. This is the Summit Qualifier, of course. I think it is a lower bracket game. I actually have to double check that. Take us quickly through the picks and the bans so far and, what you think about them.
Right, well, the Io, Ricky, and Usprit have been banned out so far by Team Empire, and the response has been the big old Treant Protector, Warlock, Terrorblade, who really was a terror, and of course Weaver. So I like the fact that they're addressing one of the issues they had in the past with the ban so far. It's a good move, and
Yeah.
of course things are playing out quite differently with the Clockwork and the Shadow Fiend coming online, as well as Crystal Maiden and Ember Spirit from Mouse Sport. What I do like, and this is really old school thinking, but it is the perfect hero to justify this, is Clockwork in the sort of the snatch and grab position, right? Effectively, he's going in, he's latching onto a hero, and he's giving the opponents two options. The options are you either fight or you fall back. And obviously, as it progresses with utility items such as Force Start, you can get your friends out of some trouble. But all the same, he's initiating fights that you want to do with a pretty reliable manner of doing so. If you can catch something like the Crystal Maiden, if in those like little scuffles, it's quite useful actually. And of course, it's actually a very powerful hero when it's able to get his ulti off, but it goes down fast. So if you can take out one very easily with Clockwork ulti, that's pretty handy. But if you can take out a couple, it's great. And with Shadow Fiend just banging on whoever is caught in those cogs, oh wait, nothing else matters in the world anymore because it's Pudge,
Oh,
and that is amazing.
yeah, Pudge has seen his rise from his fall from the mid lane into the rise as that roaming support, and I really enjoy watching it. It's amazing to see the saves, the engages, the disengages, the everything that a Pudge can offer. As that position 4, he doesn't need a lot of farm. He just needs to be able to get in a good position, i.e., a blink or force staff. He needs to be able to get the hooks off, either get levels in his hook or get an Aetherlet to actually get that range, and a Pudge disrupts everything. Up against the Clockwork specifically, Clockwork, you need that catch, and that is what Clockwork is. He goes in, he gets the catch, he engages on the enemy team, and Pudge will be the other to bring him out, hook the Clockwork out, or to hook whoever the Clockwork has caught out. So I really like that pick. It actually synergizes or counters Team Empire quite a bit, especially with the likes of a Shadow Fiend. You can hook out a Shadow Fiend, doesn't have a lot of HP. You can blow him up quite fast with a Crystal Maiden and an Ember Spirit. So looking at this Pudge, I'm actually liking Mouse Sports draft quite a lot now.
Yeah, so here's the thing about it, right? It's like the old school Marana, hit arrow, win game. And the thing is that with Pudge, if you can get off some really good hooks, it makes it very, very difficult for your opponents to work with, especially if you can catch one of those cores, because you do have a BKB parenting spell, and as long as you have the damage output to bring him down, even if you're going to end up disrupting, or using your disruptor, excuse me, I guess disrupting is fair as well, disrupting that ultimate coming out from Pudge, just the displacement of that hero is so huge that it can just absolutely win you a team fight. Of course, the problem is that when you're playing from behind, you are going to struggle a lot more to do that because, well, they kind of want to be in your face. So Mouseport definitely have to have a much better early game. I mean, it would probably help if they don't have the start they did last time, but assuming they can have a more reasonable start, maybe just pick up their 2 bounty runes, or even if they just pick up 1 and don't drop 2 deaths, they're going to be in a lot better position with that Pudge than they were last game. And this time around, I'm seeing answers to the heroes that Team Empire are picking up, because you can see where the damage is coming from these guys. You can see where the lockdown is coming from, and it just gives them a much better fighting chance, I think.
Definitely. The Legion Commander being picked up there, Pudge hooking in, ulting, Legion Commander, getting a good ultimate off, a good duel off. I do like this. Team Empire have decided to pick up the Ursa, so one less hero that you should be dueling. Please don't ever duel Ursa. Please don't.
I mean, frankly, I think you'd be pretty manly to duel Nursing, but
Well,
probably a little bit tanky for most people.
once you have 400 damage stolen, or not damage stolen, but dual damage, then sure, duel the Ursa. But before that, please don't. The likes of the Shadow Fiend Disruptor, extremely soft, extremely squishy towards the early and mid stages of the game. good targets for the Legion Commander. Crystal Maiden will be able to lock down as well as the Ember Spirit and the Pudge. I see this lineup from our sports being more about ganking and, just getting pickoffs, hitting and running, hitting and running. And I do like this. I really like this. They don't want to give Team Empire too much. But let's quickly just run through some of the other bans. Terrorblade was banned out here. Weaver banned out. Axe being banned out by Mouse Sports. Insanely good ban out there to make sure that the, control is not there from Team Empire. Well, more control than the Clockwork. The Ricky, of course, was banned out previously. Bounty Hunter, Earth Spirit, and Lycan. So, what do you think about that Lycan ban with the lineup that Mouse has?
It's a pretty interesting one. I don't necessarily think the Mouse Sports would have gone for it. It is actually quite a menacing hero these days, and it is very difficult for the likes of Ursa to deal with, because obviously in his metamorphosis, or rather shapeshift phase.
Metamorphosis.
Terrorblade's
been banned out here, buddy.
I'm getting nightmares, right, of what happened last time. But obviously quite hard to deal with. And even the likes of Disruptor, who's quite good against their Lycan in theory, can actually struggle with, just because he's able to, even into that small area, he can move around so quickly that you actually miss hits on him. So it's not a hero that they would really like to go against. But what I'm actually really interested in here is the Tusk pickup. It's not a hero we see a huge amount of. He is picked up, but it's definitely a very interesting hero. And once again, this is a hero that has a BKB penetrating spell, so he's very useful in that regard, but he's a monster ganger as well.
So the Tusk rounds, and I have to say this Team Empire's drafting is actually on point, because the Tusk with the Ursa combo, with the Clockwork combo, it actually rounds up their draft very, very, very well. But the Templar Assassin being picked up here by Mouseport, so Madara on the Ember Spirit and Thug playing mid TA, so it's a carry Templar Assassin Ember, get it? Haha. Okay, carry Ember Spirit with a mid Templar Assassin.
This is what happens when Ritz is having too much fun. But this is definitely going to be a fun game.
This is what happens when I watch Russian Dota, and there's just too much for my little brain to comprehend. Normal games are fine, because normal games are normal games, and you can follow it because there's structure. There's a pattern that it follows, whether you lose, you win, whether you take objectives. There's a specific pattern in everything, except for Russian Dota.
There's one real problem with Team Empire's lineup.
Yep.
Disruptor looks the wrong way, and of course now it's a little bit later, but some of you may have noticed it. Every other hero was looking right, with Disruptor looking to the left, so King R is the odd one out. Maybe that's because he's planning to watch everyone's backs again and tank all those ganks. But okay, so game on. I think this draft is one that I feel is a little bit more evenly matched. Although it does have a similar sort of tail. Do not let that SF get strong. Do not let him get on top, because he is effectively the biggest. I think the biggest reliable source of damage. Obviously, Ursa is going to be a big threat as well. But that SF consistently able to hit from the back line is going to be a problem. But if you can get on top of him, he is in fact squishy early on, and the likes of Legion Commander would love to get hold of him.
Sorry, I just have to. I have to. I'm not trying to interrupt you or anything, but every time that trumpet is called, I literally just have that, like, charge going through my head.
This reminds me of our MKX days.
Charge! Okay, I'm done. I'm done here, guys. Wow, exactly. Quickly take us through the lineup of Mousesports.
Well, we will have Spartan handling that Pudge. Over on the Legion Commander will be Skylark. Sporting on the Crystal Maiden will be maybe next time. Over towards the river we have Madara handling the Ember Spirit, and last but certainly not least, it will be Thug on the Templar Assassin.
I do like this, giving the Ember Spirit the safe lane. It's going to be quite interesting to see if Mouse can actually pull that off. For the side of Empire, oh, I haven't seen this. Wait, why did God? Okay, Clockwork, Mr. Ghostic just trapped his teammate in the cogs, and then they had to fight their way out of the cogs. But I'll introduce the side of Empire shortly. We might just see an engagement coming through here. Spartan, he, I think, either got the hook or missed the hook. No, he missed the hook already. But this time, 3 bounty roads going the way of Mouse. Previously, it was Empire, if I'm not mistaken.
In fact, that is correct. So I think this might be a sign of things to come.
Well, I think like over the past 10 games that I've cast, the teams that have 3 bounty runes at the start have won. So, well, let's hope for game 3. That's always the caster's dream. It is going to be Mposhka on the Tusk here for the side of Empire. King R on the Disruptor. He actually played extremely well for me in game number 1. Chappie up on Chappie up on loot bet. No, Chappie up on the Ursa, but we might actually see an engagement coming through here. There is, of course, a kinetic field that was already dropped, but it did not do much. There's the hook. It manages to get onto the Tusk. Tusk does go into snowball form and does manage to get out of that one alive. So, tri-lane versus tri-lane. I have to introduce the rest of the guys quite quickly, if I can. Just making sure nothing else happens here on the top lane. Mid lane, it is going to be FN on the Shadow Fiend and bottom Ghost Tick on the clock. Let's focus back here on top.
This really, in some ways, feel that like those sort of pubby drafts that you come into. You know, you're gonna frostbite the man and you're gonna hook him, and it's just gonna be reliable. But I think that the in fact, almost catching the Ursa there as well. It's going to be a little bit more challenging than that, and the likelihood of you catching anyone other than the Ursa is going to be a bit of a problem. And the biggest issue with that, of course, is that you have some reasonable defense for him. Obviously, Disruptor can drop down a kinetic field and allow the Ursa just to walk out of harm's way. But once they hit 6, I think this is going to be a little bit challenging for the side of Empire. So they're going to have to look for a little bit of lane dominance before those level 6s come up, and once that happens, they should be able to be in a position with just to outbully the mouse sports team.
Empire, I mean, they do have, with this kinetic field, if they actually manage to catch it, it will give 2 or 3 right clicks up to the Ursa, and I mean, just look at the amount of damage that he does, even at an early level up. He only has 1 level in Fury Swipes, but it just keeps on stacking, 3 stacks up, takes extra 45 damage from every single attack, and that's just gonna increase. As soon as the Ursa gets to level 3, it might actually be kill potential for them quite early on.
I'm quite impressed as well, just taking a little peek towards mid lane. FN's doing a really good job up against this TA for the time being. Just based on the fact that he seems to be like quite confident in this lane against TA, which is
we might, sorry about that one quickly, we might see the first blood coming through here. Medara's on very low HP, he gets pushed out. Is this going to be first blood? Ghosty gets it. Constantly she's getting the rocket barrage. They were running around the trees the whole time. So first blood going the way of Empire.
So I'm gonna give that kill to the Windlace, making him the fastest clockwork on the map. But yeah, obviously really nice. And when you
sorry about that. Once again, I think I'm going to have to stop you right now. There's a hook onto FN. They might actually be able to get the kill. The Rot is busy slowing up FN. Can they actually get this? Or is he going to deny himself? He's going to deny himself. The neutral creeps get the kill. What a player. What a player.
I feel like that's justice. Like, how many times does a kill evaporate before your eyes from a pudge? And just denying yourself casually.
Yeah.
So it's somewhat calmer to see this SF manage to find his way over to the Dragons.
You think you can deny yourself? Watch this. I can do it in style.
Hey, even committed a fairy fire to that deny. So nice work there from him.
Okay, so what were you busy saying?
Who knows? Middle lane is more action, I guess.
I do apologize, but there's a smoke wraparound coming through here by Mars. The hook's actually going to come through. Does manage to get onto the Tusk. Who are they going to focus? Tusk actually goes into snowball mode. Maybe next time might be in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to be the first person to drop. They do get the counter kill up onto Mposhka, but it's a 2-for-1 trade-off right now. FN, he will be able to heal up himself. So on that note, we actually saw more people dying. Skylark dropped. I think that was towards the top lane.
Yeah, so also bearing in mind the number of heroes commit to that fight, so it's once again a very nice position for Empire, because in theory other people around the map were getting some work done, whilst they were only committing 2 people to that kill.
Yep, and more TPs coming in mid, just so much action, so much fighting going on all over the place, but I think they should just calm down a little bit. But
hey, none of this now. We want to see some battles. I mean, basically, I just want to see all these people 6-slotted and just going to war. And hook goes through, and oh, it's just short.
It tickled his hairs. Yeah, and you know what hairs I'm talking about. The hairs on his chin, chinny chin chin. Those hairs.
You reckon he's got? I thought Shadow Fiend would be more of a man who would have facial hair, I guess, before he was, I guess, burnt alive or something.
I think Shadow Fiend had facial hair. I think that's what this color is all about. Oh wait, there's a roll in going in by the Tusk, managing to get the shards off. 1 raise, 2 raises, they do get the kill, but they want to turn around. There's the glyph going all the way back, bringing the Temporal Assassin away. So it's only a 1-for-0 trade-off at this point, and well, forcing mouz to rotate their supports through, getting the kill and not actually losing anything else in the process. Well, Thug has to be careful himself. He does have refraction charges up if he needs to use it. There's 3 heroes here for the side of Empire, and they managed to blow him up.
This mid lane is just not working out for mouse sports at all. They've committed a lot of time into this area. It's really hurting them in a big way, and FN of course is just lapping this up, right? Because not only is he going to be able to find farm, and this is a flash farmer, but he's being basically brought the experience he needs to him. So it's pretty much a dream scenario for Empire when they can just almost rely on the kills coming their way. And obviously that's not the intention of mouz, but they have to connect with a hook or something very, very soon. Otherwise we will find that exact nightmare scenario coming into play where that SF just gets on top of you and you can make your life a nightmare.
Don't you think that Shadow Fiend is one of the, I'm going to say, worst/best snowball heroes? Worst to play against, best to play for you in the game. If he starts snowballing, it's just needed.
I think another snowball is happening, and it's towards this Crystal Maiden here, and this should be the end of maybe next time, and is.
Yeah, that that was an actual snowball. So.
Yeah, I think Tusk might feel a little offended with your words there, Reddit. He's certainly a snowballing hero.
Well, an actual snowballer here, he might be, but let's have a look here. There's the glimpse coming through onto Legion Commander. Legion Commander gets stunned up because of the snowball once again. But we do see Madara coming in, managing to get a triple. I think Fire Remnant's out. He got a kill. He wants to go for more. King R's in a lot of trouble. Will he be able to get the second kill off? He just needs one more right click, but he can't actually get in range. He is still alive. King R is there. How many times has King R managed to stay alive throughout these engagements in the first game, now as well in the second? They managed to pick up the kill of the Ursa towards the tail end of that fight. But Mouseboards all of a sudden getting a couple kills under their belt, and I think it's really what they needed. Oh, middle lane though, on that thought, there's the hook. Well, it was actually a hook shot coming in from the Clockwork, and a hook coming in from the Pudge, managing to pull the Clockwork away. Gonna be sacrificing himself for who was mid for the TA. Worthy sacrifice.
Yeah, just pick me. So obviously, it was actually quite nicely timed hook as well. You obviously was aware of exactly where he would pop out. Hooked him out almost immediately. TA was pretty safe at that point. And obviously that's one of those moments that you just buy your friend a cold one after to say thanks. Yep. But Empire are stalking the mid lane again.
Thug is being pressured. Ooh, Miposhka just coming into the range of the tower. So of course they do know that he is there. Spartan once again just backing up this tier, and we actually brought that up. Oh, FN. Madara's busy chasing FN extremely fast and extremely deep, but nothing will happen from that. We brought it up during the drafting phase that when Clockwork hooks in, Pudge can either hook the clock out or he can hook his teammate out, depending on, of course, his positioning, etc., and how potent that is. And the Clockwork came in with a good hook, managed to get good cogs off, battery assault off, and he literally just hooked him out, saved the Temporal Assassin's life. So I do like that, and that's why I said I really like the Pudge pickup.
Well, talking about the Clockwork bottom lane, he is getting into a little tussle with Madara himself. We'll actually pick up the cogs as well, but Flame Remnant is there, so he's absolutely under no threat. I'm not sure if he was trying to bait out the hook shot.
Oh, there's the first duel. Unfortunately, the duel, he got sent back due to the disruptor, and they do manage to pick off the Pudge. But here comes Miposhka. He does have a snowball if he wants to turn around. So no duel victory up on the Legion Commander. It was extremely close. Oh, the amount of damage coming through there. Legion Commander, though, has to get back. He gets trapped up in the shards, and this might just be his life. The snowball is onto the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden, this is not where you want to be. But all of a sudden, Madara comes in with the Remnant. He wants to chase Chappie. Chappie is in quite a bit of trouble right now. There's, of course, no Searing Chains up. Madara is alone. Madara, you don't have any teammates there with you, buddy. There you go. He manages to get a Searing Chains off, but it's not going to be enough. No teammates means instant death.
Well, Pudge also keen in this fight, and there's going to be a Pudge on Clockwork battle with just a couple of cheap shots on the sideline from that CM. She won't be able to seal the deal as Pudge gets the quickest route back to base. But in the end, it's a pretty interesting fight, in fact. A lot of greed I felt coming out from the side of Mousesports, maybe a little bit of frustration showing, but a lot of damage was actually dealt initially by the Legion Commander, and the fight was sort of on. And in the end, they just got kited around very effectively by Empire. But it's the kind of thing that Mouse will probably look back and say that just wasn't worth the risk. And in the end, obviously, once again, it's the side of Team Empire that really do take the one to the bank.
Well, I mean, I honestly thought Madara was so close to actually getting maybe a couple of kills there if he had support coming in. Skylark might be in a lot of trouble himself. This Ursa just does so much damage. Here comes the snowball in, and it's going to be a Walrus punch to not finish the deal, but King R managing to get that, and much deserved. King R getting his first kill of the match. I actually really think it's much deserved because he's been playing so well. But middle lane, all of a sudden the Clockwork hooks in, trying to go man-to-man or toe-to-toe with the Templar Assassin, but Shadowfiend gets the kill. I think you need to talk a little bit. My voice is not going to survive this. No, I'm joking. You know, I can talk for days. So
That's a lie. I've spent a weekend with you, friend, and I know it never ends. But I'm glad to talk. But here's the thing, right? Once again, we have the scenario where the laning phase hasn't gone well, and I think the 10-minute mark is an almost good sort of like rough estimate when we can say that the laning phase, quote unquote, has ended, right? And once again, we see this really solid net worth lead for the side of Team Empire. But the biggest thing for me is actually how it's split up. It's not a case where you have the support who's like really doing very well and is a lot higher than his team. You literally have your 3 cores sitting at the top of the net worth graph. And that is the holy grail of Dota. When you have that, you know you are in a good position. And unfortunately, once again, it's significant. Obviously, we expect the Shadowfiend to have a really big sort of lead since he is a flash farmer. But if you look at the likes of the Clockwork being ahead of the likes of the TA, that's a problem.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? He manages to get out of that. I literally didn't even hypecast that or do anything because I thought he was going to die. He manages to get up his Flame Guard to protect him from the Clockwork Rocket as well. Very well played there, and unfortunately a little misplay coming through from Disruptor. I don't think he got his kinetic field up in time.
Yeah, he sort of got into the jungle and it was the end of that, but it looks like this is not entirely over. Seeing Shanes will come out though as Madara starts moving back, but he's still being hunted.
Yeah, Clockwork does have a hook shot if he wants to commit to this. Madara, he has a Fire Remnant up, so he should be able to get out of this one. But there you go. Shadowfield's coming in with a huge Requiem of Souls. Is he going to be able to get anything? There you go, onto Thug, but unfortunately it's not just enough right now. Is this going to be the first dual victory? There you go, Legion Commander getting on the board with 12 kills. Now King R, he is in a lot of trouble right now. Madara just right-clicking him down, and they also want to change from war. They want Mepashka, but they decide to just back off. That's 3 heroes down. All of a sudden, Mousesports flexing their muscles and actually playing their play style, the kind of games that they want to play, and take these scrappy fights, take these pick-off fights.
Yeah, that is exactly what Mousesports need to keep in this game. It has offered an opportunity for the Ursa to pick up the Roshan and the Aegis, so that is in fact in some ways useful for Team Empire, obviously, but you never want to drop that many heroes for so little return. However, it's going to be interesting how Empire approaches now, because they are still in the lead as far as net worth goes, and it is still quite substantial, and they should be aware of this, and they should probably use this opportunity to pressure. The only real issue is that they're going to have to most likely wait for at least the clock. Well, no, they disagree. They're going in without it, and they're fighting a stack with their troubles.
Thug might be in quite a bit of trouble right now. He does not have any refraction charges or anything, and he is going to drop. It, of course, did cost King R his ultimate as well. They want to go in for more, and will they be able to get Madara? Madara's doing a lot of damage. He will actually get a double kill, I think, from this. Was that a dual victory or not? I actually could not see because he was called back. Punch got the hook, or got the hook onto the Ursa. Ursa, of course, does have the Aegis of the Immortal, and are they going to try and protect him at all or not? Here comes FN. He's going to try and get the razors, gets the kill onto the Pudge. Madara still wants more. He wants to go onto King R. Will he be able to actually get that kill? Unfortunately not. But it is going to be Skylark. Skylark actually did manage to get the previous duel victory. So once again, it's scrappy fights, and the scrappy fights are favoring Mousesports.
Yeah, they are in fact putting it back, and obviously even if these things break even, because they're at a gold deficit, we're obviously going to see them get closer and closer back into this game. But I also want to just make one special mention to that team fight. There was an absolutely fantastic hook from the Pudge that pulled back that Ursa into the Crystal Maiden ulti, and obviously getting eaten up by Pudge inside a CM ulti has one result. But it did a lot more than just killing the Ursa. It actually won that team fight in totality, because you were in a position where your Ursa was ready to unleash onto everybody standing up that high ground, and in the end he was pretty ineffective, and well, that's an Aegis down for little reward.
Yeah, we spoke about the power that a Pudge can have in a game. It's not to say that a Pudge will always have that kind of potential or that power or that impact, but a good Pudge getting those hooks off, disrupting those team fights, it's exactly what Mousesports wants. Going in for another hook, narrowly missing 3 heroes. But I think they did scout it out. They do have a high ground, semi-high ground ward here as well. And do you think Mouse will press the advantage now, or are they happy to actually just sit back and farm up a little bit on the likes of Thug, on the likes of Madara as well? Or do they want to play aggressive? Do they want to go up against FN on the Shadow Fiend, Chappie on the Urza? Do they want to take the fight to the side of Empire and try and throw them off balance?
Yeah, this is one of those weird times in Dota, right, where your team is effectively behind on net worth, and at the same time your team's playing with momentum behind them, right? And Empire, when you start getting to the sort of 2000 ranges of net worth lead, you're starting to wonder if you're even ahead anymore. It's very hard to keep tabs on that sort of thing when you're in game as a player. So Mouse Sports might actually feel that they're a little bit closer than they actually are, and if they do, I almost feel that favors them, because that gives them that sort of you know, gusto to really go in and give it a little bit of a high tempo.
Oh, there's a hook! Great hook coming through by the Pudge onto the Tusk. He's pulling the the Tusk back, and that's a third win. All of a sudden, 3 wins in like 3 or 4 minutes for the Legion.
Yeah, this is really very good, and since Legion, I wouldn't say had the greatest of starts of all time, this is really helping out in a big way, because he's getting that damage he needs now, and once again, it's all about that momentum. At the moment, Mouse Sports are a little bit on fire, and Empire kind of slow the game down a little bit, but, well, they
just as soon as you said that, they smoke up and they want to take this fight. There's the hook shot onto the Temporal Assassin. Will they go for him? Well, there's actually a hook coming in from the Pudge himself to try and help out, but the TA did manage to get out of that one alive. Unfortunately, 2 heroes are down already for the side of Mouse Sports, but here comes Madara, wanting to go in. He gets a single kill, but the Requiem does a lot of damage. They're still fighting at this point. Madara dies. Now it's Temporal Assassin. Temporal Assassin is trying to do as much damage as possible, but it's not going to be enough. Did Temporal Assassin die back, or how is she back already, or did she just come back? Nope, she didn't buy back.
She initially was able to blink out the cogs due to refraction.
Ah, okay.
And
huge fight though.
Yeah, it was pretty funny how it all played out, because I didn't see Empire getting off such a fantastic fight, being a realistic state of affairs after the last couple. But effectively, that blink actually was kind of a ironic thing to happen, in the sense that it feels good, right? You feel like that you're getting your TA out of trouble, and now you're in for a better position. But what actually happened was they blew a couple of spells trying to protect her, and the moment they did that, Empire their eyes lit up, and they just said, well, this is our fight, and of course they punished them entirely for it. And even the Pudge, who was able to land his next hook, it effectively just repositioned Empire to actually kill them. So, not what they wanted at all, and a little bit disappointing after the sort of little bit of run of good fortune they'd had before.
Well, as a Pudge, you win some, you lose some, but I definitely agree on that. Getting that blink out did put the side of Mouse Sports a little bit in a worse position, because they used spells, they used abilities to try and get the TA out. And that actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about it that way. So let's have a look and see what Empire decides to do now. Hook shot coming in, and there's the hook onto Ghostic. This time it actually lands onto the Clockwork. Will they decide to turn around? Will they decide to get any other kind of kills? Here comes Skylark. He wants to go in. He wants to try and go in for a duel, but unfortunately, no one is down just yet except for the Clockwork. So Mouse, this is a scrappy fight. These are the fights they want to take, because these are the fights that they're good with. They can turn around. They can do whatever they need to. Madara is going to be getting a kill onto King R, even though he's been playing tremendously well. That's 4 heroes down. And this just goes to show how important that hook is when the Clockwork comes in. Oh.
Well, FN will get out of trouble. Is there anything on this? No reveal on the Pudge, so FN will be okay.
Yeah, he goes for a blind hook. And, the Pudge goes for a blind hook, doesn't get it. And yeah, this literally goes to show, in regards to what you just said, getting that hook off when the Clockwork hook shots in, and actually landing that or using that in a correct manner. So this game, I think, is going to actually go the distance. It's extremely back and forth, and I at this point still favor Mouse. Their draft is doing well. The Legion Commander's got 40 dual damage already. Ember Spirit has his Boots of Travel up, and the Ursa, even though the Ursa's 6 and 2, building up towards that Basher, is he going to have as big an impact as the likes of the Ember Spirit, the TA?
Well, there's also worth mentioning as well that this Legion Commander is in fact also going for a Blade Mill, and the problem for that, for the side of Team Empire, is if he ever gets on top of that Shadow Fiend's going to break himself on that Legion Commander, and you just can't allow that to happen. The Clockwork initiations haven't been bad at all, but it just feels like when the fights are getting a little bit messier, it's favoring mouse sports, and they're basically going to try to find a position where they can fight those messy fights, where they can fight around some of the nice sort of AoE spells that you have.
Yeah.
And for Empire, I think you want to contain it. You really want to get to that sort of dream scenario out. We have multiple Fury in the Disruptor's ultimate, but even then, in fact, is that mid lane? No, I thought there was a fight mid lane.
I actually want to say Ursa, you know, bringing or leading on to the point that you just said. Mouse sports are significantly ahead when it comes to the messy fights. But it's quite interesting because Ursas like messy fights. They like those one-on-one targets. They like if a fight is split up where they can focus. But on that note, quickly they jump in onto the middle lane, onto the bottom lane. Shadow Fiend, the winner. I actually want to check where did that winner go onto. I think it was onto the Legion Commander, but unfortunately dying towards the end. Chappie might be in a lot of trouble himself. He has got in, well, he isn't raised up, but very good cogs blocking off the Temporal Assassin. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Chappie has died. Now they want to go in for more. They want to actually try and kill the Temporal Assassin, but they can't. Ghostic, unfortunately, is going to pay with his life, and that is once again 3-4-1. Good engage, good blink coming from the Legion Commander, getting that duel victory and just setting up the fight for the side of Mouse, playing very well.
These are big swings, man. This was a side that had a very early net worth lead of about 6,000 gold. So the fact that they've reached this point where they're now sitting at just shy of the 1,000 mark means that Mouse are, like we mentioned, the momentum being with them, and I did feel that Empire needed to almost slow things down a little because they're not winning these team fights. Even though on paper they have a lot of team fight that they can execute this with, I personally feel like they want to almost change the environment that they're having these fights. In top lane, looks like they're gonna see exactly what they don't want, and that's more dual damage going the way of Skylark.
Yeah, he's gonna constantly be looking for that disruptor, looking for that tusk. He'll be able to kill them every single time and just constantly boost up his duel victory, which is sitting on 68 all of a sudden.
I mean,
Mousesports is looking strong.
It is starting to reach this realm of like concern, I think. I mean, 68 is not anything that seems unbelievable, but it is only 22 minutes in, and this game looks like it potentially could go quite late. So he could be building himself out quite nicely. He is looking for the BKB next as well, so he's going to be even more of a threat, but towards the ruin.
Yeah, well,
battle.
Towards the top side, that is actually going to be a dead TA. I was busy replying to people on the chat because the guys are actually extremely supportive, and yeah. Before we go down that route, Pudge manages to get a kill onto the Clockwork because of a very good hook. He is not actually even going to go for the deny. Madara comes in. Madara's been playing extremely well. There's the Legion Commander once again sitting on 82 dual damage at this point. And Madara just wants to go in for more. Madara literally the whole time is just gunning the side of Empire, showing them how it feels to be face rushed.
Yeah, this is looking more and more promising. I mean, they pick up the Roshan here as well. There's going to be problems. So the buybacks are coming in. And
yeah, you have to buy back here.
Mode. And I want to bear in mind the TA also bought back into this, so it's almost like a little bit more reasonable to do so. But on the front lines, Madara, he looks like he's ready for a fight.
To be honest, I really like this. Madara's been playing so aggressive, so in Empire's face. And is Empire going to go in for a hookshot? No, they can't because, well, they can, but I don't think Mouse will actually give them the opportunity. They forced out to buy back themselves, even though, sure, the TA bought back. They're just going to fall back, push out the lanes a little bit, and try and go for Rush next time. But Templar Assassin's got Blink up, got a full Desolator up as well. This tier hits really hard, especially to the likes of a Slug or a poor little Disruptor.
I know, that poor Disruptor, it just doesn't seem fair.
But he's been playing well though, he really has been playing well.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of opportunities. I think he probably could have landed a better ultimate, but overall I think it's been a fair performance. But this is something that really, okay, I'm glad the Rockets that scouted them out for Team Empire fans, because they can't let this happen.
Well, TPs are coming in right now. Are we going to see an engage? Let's zoom out and let's have a look. Here we go, Maposhka. He is busy scouting it out, and they actually want to go in for more. There's the hook shot coming in. It actually does land, but the Purge gets the hook out. Clockwork gets hooked out completely. They still want to try and get the Aegis. Who manages to get it? The Aegis was snatched here by the Ursa. This is going very bad for the side of Mousesports. This is not good. This is not where they want to be. That's 2 heroes down. And unfortunately, I think it might just be, okay, I can't follow you, Ember. I'm not even going to try. You're moving all over the place. But still, 2 heroes down and an Aegis snatch for the side of Empire. Extremely well played. And to be honest, I did not think that was going to happen. The Pudge hooked the Clockwork. As soon as the Clockwork went in, I thought it was game over. mouz would have got the Aegis and started pushing up. But Empire just out-positioning the side of mouz.
Dota truly is a very cruel mistress. That actually would have gone the way of TA, but she got stunned by Roshan.
Oh, you're kidding me.
That allowed the Ursa just jump in, wreck her, pick up the Aegis, and in the end it looks so different to the way it could have. But top lane, we do see the Clockwork dueling, a fight he probably doesn't want to be in, and, well, Spartan just wanted the assist, or the kill secure.
Yeah.
But seriously, the flash thread actually very useful, and so I think that's fair for him to do that.
Yeah, but I even, to be honest, I didn't see the stun coming through. The stun coming through from Rosh. I'm very unlucky if that is what happened. Shame.
It's possible it was something else, but I definitely recall TA just being shut down well before Prime. So it's an interesting one, but you got to take those chances, and the pendulum swings both ways. You know, you'll get that luck your own way sometimes, and of course mouz, they still have pulled this back in a big way, and I think they'll still be feeling pretty confident. And if it is in fact the case that they got a little bit unlucky with that, I think they'll still be playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, looking at the net worth right now, only sitting at 300 in favor. Oh, wait, quickly. I saw someone, well, someone's dying instantly. Crystal Maiden also dropped. I'm not sure where. And unfortunately, poor little Legion Commander was sent back all the way to the top lane.
Actually, I believe it was TA. She actually linked in through the glimpse, managed to get off 2 shots onto the Disruptor with a little bit of assistance from a friend, was able to finish the job. So Thug, he'll appreciate that one, and perhaps you'll look at it as a better opportunity to farm.
Yeah, it's like, it's fine, I'll go in, I'll help kill you, and then I'll just go back to farming. It's like those times when you get sent back by a Disruptor. When you get sent back by a Disruptor, just as soon as like you actually get jumped when you're trying to jump them, then you get sent back by a Disruptor and you survive. I don't know if
well, in this case, it was perfect, right? Because he goes in, he gets the kill, and he goes back to farming. Life is good.
Okay.
Profit.
I wish. Well, you see, sometimes you're lucky and you get sent back, other times you're unlucky and you lose the Aegis. I don't know what.
I mean, if it was you or I, we would literally be somehow magically teleported back into the opponent's fountain, because that's our kind of luck.
Hey, something similar has happened before when I TP'd out of the enemy base, landed, and I was actually sent back from lane all the way back into their base by Disruptor.
Good fun.
Yep.
At least you got the fountain buff for a little while.
Yeah, well, that's when I was playing in Nature's Prophet, so I TP'd in to try and kill the courier, then I TP'd out, then I got sent back. And then
that they call karma, friend. That they call karma.
Yeah, and I didn't get the courier.
Justice has been served on this day. But enough about us and our nonsense. We'll see the side of Team Empire here picking up this bounty and looking pretty aggressive. So obviously with the tails up a bit, looking for a potential kill. They are only just barely in the lead. In fact, I think that's going to potentially change hands any moment when the next creep wave arrives. But looks like they are interested in this tier 2, and that is something we haven't seen a huge amount of pressure on for a while, is these tier 2s. Obviously, the side of mouz have picked up the tier 2 in the top lane, so they will have a little bit of extra presence being around the map. But all things are now kind of even.
But I have to say, mouz being dominant here, actually taking the fight to Empire, not allowing Empire to dictate the pace of the game. And I think that is what's been helping them out a lot here. And the big difference between Game 1 and Game 2, where Empire just looked completely dominant. Now mouz shows, listen, we can flex our muscles as well if we have to. If we are allowed to play our own game. And from the side of Empire though, let's just jump through. Oh wait, are we going to see a jump in here from Skylark? Just as I said jump, there you go. Skylark's going in. But unfortunately, he's going to get blown up. There is no dual victory going the way of FN, but it is going to be a kill in his favor, and everyone else turning around, running away. Very well played there by the Tusk, having that blink dagger, being able to blink in and snowball. I mean, he'll be able to do that now every single time that anyone gets dueled. Unless he gets dueled. Then he just dies.
Oh, he might get bailed out by an Ursa or something angry with teeth. But it really was well played from him. It was a beautiful play. Very, very quick on the draw there, obviously reducing a lot of damage. But obviously the biggest thing there as well is that Legion Commander is still relying in a big way on the blade mail damage. So effectively when he does that, when you pop out on the other side, you're in business.
So Aegis is going to drop right now, but let's quickly take a look through the items here for the side of Team Empire. Tusk setting up with that blink dagger, slowly but surely building up his gold. He doesn't have anything else queued at this point. Clockwork, full solo crest up as well as a 4-staff, trying to go in now for a kill towards the top lane. We're going to see a blind hook. Nope. So Clockwork with the Solo Crest, I mean, he is quite tanky at this point. He should survive the initial burst from a hook shot. Nope, nothing. Sorry, I'm like trying to focus because of all the boots of travel and moving back and forth. Who's doing what? Shadow Fiend, Lincoln Sphere up as well as Shadow Blade. Do you leave this as a Shadow Blade or do you slowly but surely build this into a... what do you call it?
Silver Edge.
Silver's Edge, yeah. I always forget that.
I literally think the break is fantastic. It really does do a lot, and it is actually quite useful against us, just to, you know, get rid of some of the irritating spells in the game. I think that in this case, he's probably better off as he is going for the butterfly, but... Oh,
does break remove dual victory though?
No, it does not. But that would be nice.
But it's an aura.
No, I feel that would be
passive. I mean, it is a passive.
It is a passive, but I feel like disabling your opponent's ulti when he's completely reliant on it might be a little bit unfair in that regard.
Oh, hookshot, deep hook coming in, managing to get the kill. Ghosting, jumping onto the poor little Crystal Maiden, but we see a counter initiation coming in right now. Ember Spirit, he wants to go in for more. He wants to kill the Chappie himself. But unfortunately, Chappie just bashes him to smithereens. The snowball is coming in onto Skylog. Skylog gets punched up into the air, and it's a Shadow Fiend. That is not a Shadow Fiend. It's a Shadow Fiend Illusions that's just constantly attacking him. Chappie goes in, gets his second kill. That is 2 kills up for him. Meanwhile, though, Spartan, no deny for you, my friend. FN getting that. And Mouse Sports, all of a sudden, they're in a lot of trouble. Well... yeah, in a lot of trouble. TA actually has to blink out of that one, and this might actually be Rax. Do they have buyback? There is no buyback up on the Ember Spirit, no buyback up on the Pudge, no buyback up on the Legion Commander. There's no buybacks right now, and if they actually manage to get the kill here on the Temporal Assassin, she will have buyback if need be, and I think it is going to be forced out right now, but I think they have to back off. They have to drop this Rax because they literally might have just thrown away the advantage that they had in regards with the control of the game.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, I don't think they ever had like true control of this match. They certainly had. They were in the best
I
position
honestly
beforehand.
felt they were doing really well. They had this game in the bag, but what just happened?
The thing is that I think Mousesports have been taking a lot of 50-50 fights in the regard that they were fighting messy fights, and that was the messy fight that they were looking for. That had paid off them so many times in the past. But the problem was that the game had changed since we saw that. Empire did, in fact, sort of spend a little bit more time focusing a little bit more on objectives, dancing around the match, but just changed the momentum and sort of flow of the matchup. And this time around, you know, the pendulum swung in their favor with that messy fight, and it really cost Mousesports bad. And you know, they're now, in fact, in the deepest hole they've been in this matchup, 10k beneath their opponents, and obviously the Rax.
You know, it's been a long time since I've seen a dip that fast. And that, like, hard. And if you actually have a look at it, just before this fight started, they actually took control of the game in regards to net worth for the first time since the like, first few minutes. They were in control,
exactly.
And what happened, though?
Well, I'm glad you asked. They all died, and Empire took all their deaths.
You don't say.
Heads, and they took it to the bank.
Are we going to change?
They're feeling pretty good about themselves now.
Halberds has become the new Captain Obvious. So one obvious thing's answered, please ask him. Go to his Facebook page, it's facebook.com/HalbertZA. You see that shameless plug that I did for you?
I was not complaining. I was just quietly enjoying that one.
Well, looking at Mousesports right now, you know, did they possibly lose the game with that fight that went extremely badly? Or what do they have to do right now to try and keep themselves in this game? Do they have to split push? Do they have to try and look for pickoffs? Do they have to farm for buyback, first of all? What do you think is the next move for Mousesports?
So the buybacks are a problem, right? And that really hurt them because they had to commit quite a few buybacks, and it's never fun, right? You want that bunny in the pocket when you really need it, and when you get taken down with your buybacks and you lose a Rax, it just feels bad, and it does more than just cost you money. It also hurts your team's sort of mentality towards the game. But the thing is that we can see how effective one good team fight can be, and 10k or at this point 12k isn't as big a deal at this stage in the game as it would have been, say, 10 minutes previously. So there's a chance for them here to come back and one
there's
good
a
fight.
smoke coming through. BKB pop going straight in onto the task, getting the duel. Will he actually be able to get the kill? Unfortunately not. He gets stunned up. There you go. There's a big engagement coming through. They managed to get the Tusk eventually. Now they want to turn around. They want to go to the Clockwork. Clockwork's in a lot of trouble right now. Madara managing to get the kill, but unfortunately FN's turning in. FN wants to go for more kills, and no, Madara decides to get the hell out of there. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. A Clockwork for a Legion Commander, and I think Mouseport can be happy that has not been more, but it is going to be FN coming in, doing a lot of damage. Just look at the amount of right click he does with that butterfly, with the Lincoln Sphere. That's more heroes down. Templar Assassin is dead with no buyback.
Yeah, that is really big, and the problem as well is that there's no Legion Commander either. And I want to point out that it wasn't that bad initially, because the Tusk also brought back in that fight, but that was just a brilliant call from Empire saying, right, put the screws on now, boys, let's go for the throat, and, well, you know, we can see the result unfolding in front of us.
I mean, they jumped on the Tusk, they just could not put up enough damage. It was extremely close, but the Clockwork coming in with that hook shot, getting the battery assault off, getting the power cogs off, to be honest, the Clockwork, even though he was the only person to die, saved, I think, that entire team fight. If the Tusk managed to survive there, if they didn't get the cogs off, the stuns off, I honestly think Empire would have been in a very bad position.
Yeah, they did take surprisingly long to bring down those heroes, well, unlike that one that just died, but...
That sentence took longer than what it took for him to die.
Because fuzzy.
Yeah, well, there's a dual victory. Not going to be a dual victory, but they do manage to get the kill. Chappie goes in, turns onto the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit remnants out, and he gets glimpsed all the way back. Chappie, you're going the wrong way. But what did he do? Oh, of course, you can just remnant out again as soon as you get called back. They manage to get the kill, but FN wants to go in for more. He wants to get a kill onto maybe next time. Maybe next time is down. It's only 2 heroes. It's Mouse versus the world. Who is it going to be? Skylark and Madara. Can they do this? Can they hold off Empire just a little bit longer?
Not if that happens. If that Emperor is down, this is probably game.
Well, he does have buyback. He uses it, and unfortunately, though, the Legion Commander does... Yeah, there you go. Legion Commander also has buyback. They're trying to do a lot. There's actually a lot of damage that they're actually managing to get off here. Chappie, the hook does not latch. If they get the kill here onto Madara, Madara's in a lot of trouble. He bought back. They managed to get the kill, and that was onto the Tusk. And Tusk also, that's a dieback for him. Will they be able to get the kill onto the Shadow Fiend? Unfortunately not. The hook misses, but it is nearly Mega Creeps. So, sure, I said Empire versus the world, not Empire, Mouse versus the world, and they managed to stave off the attack just a little bit longer.
It's never pleasant when you look over to your opponent's base and you see it pretty much all intact and pretty. You even got a tier 2 up, and you look over to your last standing range racks with a little bit of despair. But the biggest problem for them right now is just that even if they take this Roshan down and they don't get touched, the amount of pressure that's being placed on them and the sort of nature of, well, that's what I thought.
Well, there Ursa just jumps. It does so much damage, completely blows up Skylark with that Abyssal Blade Basher coming through. The force staff is used onto Thug. Unfortunately, Madara, this is not where you want to be. He comes in. Is he going to be bashed up anymore? No, he's actually still alive. Madara runs away. It's extremely close. FN is on a godlike spree. They're trying to get more kills here. Maybe next time. He does drop eventually, and is Madara still alive? Madara's still alive, but GG's actually get called. Extremely scrappy, but the thing is, the Ursa, this is the power of the Ursa, which was not there during game number 1, is he can control. If he jumps in and you can't burst him down, you will lose. We spoke about the fights. You need the fights to just be a little bit longer than that 5-second mark for the Ursa to actually come into play. And Mousesports just couldn't burst him down within a few seconds.
Yeah, I think Mousesports played a better game, and I think, you know, hey, we casters, we were always allowed to go for that 3rd game, so I'm a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to pull through, and it was quite exciting for them, and they really just got punished on the one bad fight. I think they got a little bit unlucky at Roshan, but in the end, they put up a decent performance, and Empire had to play well to beat them, so congratulations to them, and yeah, I guess that's all I got. So, yeah, thanks.
Extremely exciting, keeping the game extremely close up until the 30-minute mark, where Team Empire just took that one fight, came back with 7,000 net worth, and just showed why. Well, this is actually the loser bracket round 1, so whoever loses here is out. and Team Empire, showing that, listen, they want to stay in, they want to go through to the summit. Guys, I'm Reddit. Joining me was Halberd. That's R-I-D-D-I-T-Z, not Reddit or Reddit, please. Reddit. It's like Ribbit, but Reddit. Get it? Rabbit. Haha. Anyway, joining me was Halberd. Together we are bearded sometimes. I don't know. This was the summit. I really enjoyed casting. Special shout out to you Beyond the Summit. It was amazing that you guys had us here. Hope we will be back quite soon. And on that note, Halberd, you can have the final thoughts, the final say, and then we are off.
This was awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.
Words of wisdom.